We're finding that out too. Welcome to today's Zaleski Sports Show. Jason Zaleski, Dan Ross. It is a humongous day here at Zaleski Sports. On today's show, we're going to talk to you about Zaleski Sports headlines. We'll take you through baseball and softball rankings that VIPs have been seeing for the last couple days on ZaleskiSports.com. We'll take you through the weekly schedule, and that's going to be it. It's an abbreviated show today, Dan.
It's all yours. That's all now.
Oh man, we have too much fun around here sometimes. Some may disagree with that, I guess. But all right, so yeah, here they are, magazines. Dan, we've been talking about them for a long time. This is edition number 1, and these are in the Marshfield area today. You will get magazines at 6 p.m.-ish, so about 2 hours. So, warm up your engines, although it's pretty warm outside. Maybe you don't have to start your car now ahead of time these days.
Rumor has it people are already in line.
Yeah, they are. That's a near fact. 6 p.m. Around 6 p.m. Sweats Country Corner Mart in Blenker for Auburndale folks. So that's where you can pick up these magazines. They are free. And it'll be this time each week on Wednesdays, all right, gang? And then at all 3 Weiler's convenience stores in Marshfield, around 6 p.m. Today, I am the delivery driver. So I will go to Blenker first, deposit the magazines there. Then we're at Weiler's East. Then we're at Weiler's Central Avenue. And then we're at Weiler's North, right next to Marshfield. So we're going in that order. So around 6 p.m., if we're not there, by the time you get there, just hang on. Buy something to drink, buy a snack. That's what those places are for anyway. Buy a drink, buy a snack. For better or for worse, if you wait, you'll get to say hi to me. And the magazines are coming to you. They are free. And then it's every Wednesday, Dan. Every Wednesday for those 4 locations. And on Thursday this week, it is Spencer. You get that at the A&W restaurant in Spencer tomorrow, Thursday morning, around 9 a.m. And then around 9:30 a.m., Stratford Family Foods in Stratford. That's the schedule this week for the magazines. They're coming.
Are you delivering them in like an elf's hat? Like you're delivering presents?
Oh, I should have got some sort of mascot though to wear, shouldn't I have? Now that you mentioned, but see, Dan, you've got a lot of great ideas, and they usually come at 0 hour.
Typically.
That's when some of the best ideas show up, though. No, I'm going to look exactly like this when I roll into Blenker and Marshfield today.
Just see like a giant dog costume come in with these things, drop them off, wave with the big paw.
Well, you remember we were at, I think it was level 3 football over in Chippewa. Stratford was playing that day.
Yep.
And the Stratford Tiger was there.
He was.
And the Stratford Tiger was having a great time, especially Jump Around came.
It was a good night for him.
I would have, so if somebody wants to meet me in Stratford tomorrow morning around 9:30 with the Tiger mascot costume, get a hold of me. And you can do that at ZaleskiSports.com. Just click the contact page. I will wear the mascot walking into Stratford Foods. I will do it. Yeah. I don't think I would say the same for Spencer, but I've not seen a Rocket mascot. If there is one, hit me up. I'll do that too.
The launch pad.
It is the launch pad. And I mean, while we're at it, Auburndale's got the Eagle. So if you want to meet me in Blenker at 5:45, I'll wear that walking in there. I'll wear the Marshfield Tiger because I know that there is one. Much to my dismay, that Marshfield Tiger doesn't come out near enough, once every 5 years or so.
We have interviewed the Auburndale mascot.
The Eagle got interviewed, yep. It was flap your wing once for yes and twice for no. Oh, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Yeah, it certainly was. It turned out I was going to do it, but I thought it'd be much better if somebody a little closer to the Eagle would do that interview. And they did. They did. That was 2 basketballs ago, wasn't it? Yeah. 2 basketball seasons ago. It's on YouTube. Go look it up. So anyway, magazine. It's fresh. There's a smell of fresh ink in the air.
There really is.
The machine is right here, Dan. You probably heard it when you walked in. It's right. It's churning them out right now. So they are hot and fresh, coming to you again. Blenker, Sweats, Country Corner Mart at around 5:45, and then the 3 Weiler's gas stations in Marshfield around 6 o'clock, and that'll be the schedule every Wednesday. And then tomorrow morning, Spencer A&W Root Beer Restaurant and Stratford Family Foods. Those are Thursday morning stops.
you have taken on quite the responsibility here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as you said correctly last week, I've got nothing else going on,
Right.
right? Why shouldn't I be doing this?
Yeah, so I was paging through this. This is really nice.
Yeah, you can show the folks if you want to.
Better
Totally
than,
fine.
Yeah, look at standings pages, full color. Marshfield is
Marshfield's on the centerfold.
It's
Yep.
the centerfold. What a surprise!
Well, they're sexy, that's why.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, a lot of work. You see the
really
folks
nice.
there that have put this
Yes.
together. Mike Wendlandt, Trevor Zaleski, Paul Lecker, John Albrecht, and I give a helping hand. Dan Lau is printing and boxing them. So it's a whole team effort. Rachel keeps track of all the billing and all the making sure that the ads look right and in the right place. It's a team effort, gang.
Yeah, you can take a look at Jason Zaleski in a suit and tie
Yep.
from some time ago, I would say.
I would say that was taken, maybe call it 2018,
Yeah,
17,
some time ago.
something like that. Yeah. I look good then. I look good now.
A couple
What can I do?
100 broadcasted games
What
ago.
can I do? I just, I'm ageless from the decades, I guess. Okay, so magazine's coming, and then next week, same drop times, all those places I mentioned, plus in Neilsville, Russell's of Neilsville, starting next week, Wednesday, or actually it'll probably be Thursday next week, Thursday. Neilsville peeps, get your magazine over at Russell's of Neilsville beginning next week, Thursday, and then weekly thereafter.
Are you getting more requests for this?
I don't know yet. What we did find out, you alluded to it a minute ago, there were people already crawling around Weiler's earlier today looking for the magazine. So it's coming, gang. It's coming. So a line, a swarm has already developed in the Marshfield area.
It'd be great if you went to drop off and there's already more people than magazines you have.
That happened one time. I'm glad you bring this up because I'm all about stories, and the people out there know that too. We did a T-shirt giveaway in Stratford. Again, call it 2017, 18, whatever it might have been, prior to some sort of playoff game or something at one of the gas stations in town. And I was probably running about 15 minutes late. I had 100 T-shirts that I was bringing in a box, and it weighed like 100 pounds.
Right.
Cotton T-shirts and ink in the whole. So anyway, I'm running about 15 minutes late. There were no less than 40 people milling about near the door, inside the station, on the blacktop of the gas station, waiting for those shirts. So yes, it does happen.
I'm sure.
It does.
I mean, for a T-shirt, I would do it.
Free shirts.
Yeah.
Right. Free shirts. You get your weightlifting shirt for the year then with that free. Of course, you wear it real nice that first time, and then it's a weightlifting shirt after that, or lawn mowing shirt, or what have you.
There is no greater thrill than catching a T-shirt at a sports
One of the
event.
big cannons.
Yeah.
Boom! Off goes the shirt into the second level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got one once because guy like 6 rows behind me missed it, and it bounced off hands.
Butterfingers.
Right to me. I wasn't even watching.
Yeah.
It just like fell into me.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
right place, right time.
That's right.
Yeah. So magazine, pretty similar to the whole thing. So, okay, last time, and then we're going to get on with the meat of the show, as some people say. Sweats Country Corner Mart in Blinker around 5:45. Walk right in. It'll be right below the cashier, right in the magazine rack there. And then all 3 Weiler's locations in Marshfield shortly after, so about 6. And then, again, it's going to take us a little bit to go to each one. We go from east to central to north, so just in that pattern. I mean, maybe they'll follow me around in their car. I don't know.
Sign autographs.
Maybe. And then tomorrow morning, A&W in Spencer, and Stratford Family Foods, of course, in Stratford. And then next week, Thursday, in Neilsville at Russell's.
It really feels like I'm watching severe weather news. We're going to hit this at 5:45. Take shelter now.
Tornado will be near Tigerton at 5:10, and in Marion around 5:15. Get to your safe space now.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Mark Holly, fan of the show. And
he does a good job.
And Chad over at, are they at separate stations? Maybe they're at the same station.
Holly's at Channel 7.
Chad Franzen,
I think
weather.
so.
Anyway, fans of ours, and we're fans of theirs too. So, okay, let's get into it. Baseball and softball, well, I don't know. Boy, how could I forget this? We've got a game live right now. So again, we're done with the magazine talk. If the rest of this is boring to you, I totally understand. Go watch. It's Eau Claire North, Eau Claire Memorial. That's a crosstown rivalry. Yeah, huge game. Bob Radovich and Dave Sparger on the call. So please leave us. Go watch the baseball game. It's live. And they are always wacky. Those games between North and Memorial are insanity. Football, basketball, and baseball. They played 14 innings of baseball last year, and I may not get this exactly right, but I believe they were both one-run games, and it was like 19-18 total score between the two games.
Yeah.
Just wackiness. So go watch. We had a walk-off sac fly in one of the games last year. It's a walk-off. Sac fly is not as sexy as a double home run, but a walk-off nonetheless. I mean, so that game is live right now on this YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook or X, just hop on over to YouTube. Go to Zaleski Sports there. We just got done with Wisconsin Lutheran and Pewaukee, Dan, and I bring that up. That game is just live. Matt and Eli were in Oconomowoc. But I bring that game up, Dan, because as we go to our baseball rankings, and again, VIP members, you go to ZaleskiSports.com. It's $5. You can get them, read them all ahead of time. And VIPs that are watching, they already know this information because they're 2 days ahead of you, who's not a VIP. $5 at the website. Pewaukee, number one ranked team in Division II.
Yeah.
6-0 losers today.
Wow.
To Wisconsin Lutheran. So number one team takes a loss. That drops Pewaukee to 16-3 on the season. So that just happened. And an upset in the baseball world today.
Yeah, I would argue that there's not a lot of baseball upsets. like I feel like you have a pitcher that's hitting his spots, and like anybody can beat anybody. Yeah. In one game.
Yeah, but 6-0's pretty solid.
It is.
So Wisconsin Lutheran, the Vikings take down the Pirates today. Division I baseball rankings. Again, you get these earlier in the week, but here we are on Wednesday, and we read them to you every week, so that's fine. They save you the $5, I guess. But just had that conversation with somebody. I was calling a baseball game, and the scorekeeper asked about the rankings. And I said, you know what I'm going to tell you, right? I know, it's $5.
It's nothing. $5 means nothing
Please.
anymore.
You can't even get a Starbucks for $5, right?
I know.
Yeah. In Division I, Sun Prairie East, still undefeated. They are the number one ranked team in Division I. Oak Creek, number 2. Spash Panthers, still undefeated. I called their win against Marshfield on Monday, and they've run the table thus far.
Strength of schedule probably biting them a little bit.
Maybe a little. We'll see what Terp does in his seed meeting next week. I think, though, in his group, he'll probably obtain that number 1 seed in his group.
Well, there's nobody ahead of them here.
That's true, too, isn't it?
That's ahead of them.
Yeah, that is true, too. And then the Spash Panthers take on Marshfield tomorrow at Buchholz Park. Mike Wendlandt on the call. Game time is usually 5 o'clock. I don't have the other website brought up there, but ZaleskiSports.com. So you can see the number 3 ranked Spash Panthers. Oh, yeah, and it's on the back of that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. What time did they play on Thursday, Dan?
Spash?
Marshfield at Spash.
5 o'clock.
5 p.m. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hartford's number 4. Kimberly is number 5 in Division I. In Division II, I mentioned Pewaukee, although they did lose just moments ago. Number 1 team in Division II. Kiel, the Vandals? Vandals. I want to call them Bandits all the time. I think they're Vandals. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Kiel, number 2. Mosney, number 3.
Mosney had a special night, right? They had a perfect game, right?
Yeah.
A perfect game, 5-inning perfect game.
And I'm not sure that was just their first.
Probably.
They may have had multiple. Mosney, number 3. Waupun is 4. Jefferson is 5. In Division III, Lake Country Lutheran comes in as the number 1 team. Laconia is 2. Marathon, number 3 ranked team. Number 4 is Elk Mound. Number 5 is Lomira. I'm going to come back to Division III in a moment, follow up on a question you had from last week.
Yes.
Division 4, Bangor is number 1. Ithaca is number 2. Johnson Creek, number 3. Pittsville, the Panthers are number 4.
Panthers.
They have run the table thus far.
Yep.
And Blair Taylor is number 5. Last week, Dan, in Division III, you asked about Stratford. What about Stratford?
Because they're tied for first.
They are tied for first. They've got a couple of conference games left. I believe both are against Assumption, so I think we can probably assume, right? Play on words there.
A little bit.
All right, we can assume with Assumption. I can make an assumption about Assumption.
They've had a tough year.
They have. To this point, I believe the poll master, Mike, believes that Marathon has just played a better schedule to this point. And Stratford, though, right on the edge, right on that edge right there. So that's the reason why. I mean, this week they beat Shawamigan, which is not going to move you in a ranking. They did sweep Edgar recently, but Edgar's kind of fallen off, and so Marathon also swept Edgar, so there's no advantage to that and those kind of things.
And they split this year, 1-1.
Marathon and Stratford both split, so they're staring down the barrel of they're going to take the trophy and cut it in half, and I don't know what you do with it then. I guess you put it in the trophy case sideways, so you can't see that it's only a half.
So it looks like a full trophy.
Yeah. Okay. Softball, Division I, the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. We've got the football. I wish they would send us a softball. We'd put a Galloping Ghost softball on the table, but so far we've just acquired the football. And that may have been under the nose of the athletic director, Casey Smith.
I was there. I watched you go into a bag, take it, and walk away.
Well, we were going to get our player of the game to sign it, and then some other things happened, and we were like, just forget it, we're leaving. Well, it got cold, too, that night.
It was very cold. It was wet.
Yeah, cold and wet. Yeah. Kenosha Bradford, number 2, and Spash, 18-0-1. I didn't know about the tie. I'm not sure. We're going to ask Mike because he's going to leave here soon. We'll ask him. Ashwaubenon on 19-1. Chippewa Falls is 17-2. Kaukauna and Kenosha Bradford combined 33-0 in the 1 and 2 spot. Spash also without a loss, 18 wins. So you look at that. Now what do we have, Dan? 51 wins in the top 3?
Yeah.
51 and no losses in the top 3. I think I have that.
And Ashwaubenon has 1 loss.
Just 1. Chippewa just has 2. Yeah, very top heavy in Division 1, and you're likely to see a Spash Chippewa Falls big time playoff game in a couple weeks. Okay, Division 2, Mosinee has run the table thus far. They are the 1 team in Division 2. New London is 2, Lux Casco is 3, New Berlin Eisenhower is 4, and Lake Mills, the L-Cats are 5. It's one of my favorite names in the state, the L-Cats.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Bobcats, not good enough, L-Cats. It's probably better than a Bobcat, even though it's made up. Division 3, Mishicot is 21-0. They're the number 1 team. Broadhead is 2. Lomira is 3. Mayville is 4. And number 5 is Poinet.
21 games. It's beefy.
It is beefy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you live in a certain part of the state, and you get to just play more because of the weather. That's how that all hammers out. And we look in Division 4, the number 1 team, Grantsburg, only has played 13 games, but you look where Grantsburg is on the map, right? They're up here.
Yep.
Fall Creek is number 2. Crickets keep chirping. Horicon is number 3. McDonald Central is 4, and Boscobel is number 5. Another fun one to say, Boscobel. Number 1 in Division 5 remains the Pacelli Cardinals. Oakfield is number 2. Wazeeka Steuben 3. Belmont 4, and Torp is 5. I think that's unchanged from last week in Division 5.
I didn't hear you mention Columbus Catholic baseball.
Didn't.
Right?
It's
They're
true.
conference champions, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. The softball team is.
Softball team.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Baseball needs. I think their magic number is like 2, and they play Loyal on Friday, so that would be. They might possibly even get there by Friday.
Okay.
Because a win over Loyal is the 2 games that they're looking for, I think. Dan, I'm glad you asked that, though, because right here on ZaleskiSports.com, we can click right on the standings page, and it is up to date. It's almost always exactly up to date. And as we look in the Clover Belt East, the Dons have a 1.5 game lead over the Hounds, and so a win over Loyal.
Hey, Mike. Already clinched.
Mike, we got a question for you. Spash on the rankings, 18-0-1. Did they tie somebody?
Yeah, there's a game I think got rained out in like the 6th inning.
And they just kept it there?
Yeah, that's the game changer.
Not to be resumed. Okay, very good. There you go. Yeah, have a good night, guys. Okay. Yeah, so Columbus plays Loyal on Friday, and depending on maybe a Neelsville result, maybe that's a conference clincher there. But the Dons softball team, conference champs.
So they play 10 conference games, maybe.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 10.
Okay.
So maybe next week. Maybe next week. I mean, they do have to, I guess, hold their own after that too.
Sure.
Against some of the underlings.
Columbus Catholic softball, great season so far. And
Yeah.
probably not a surprise. Really good program.
No, not a surprise.
Yeah.
We look at the softball standings. Gilman under Columbus Catholic at 6-3, and then everyone else not having very fantastic years in that conference. Especially you look at this side of the table. Yeah. Outside of the conference, they're even more paltry than inside the conference. Some of those teams.
Looks like softball's already clinched.
Columbus is our softball champions. Yep, that was on Monday night.
Yeah.
They beat the Loyal Greenwood. Now, we still call them the Greenhounds. on here, which I think should be their name. I know the football co-op went with the Wolves because, that's a very unique name. Nobody in the world is called the Wolves.
Why
Let's
not
go with
just
that
go
one.
Wildcats? Like everybody else.
Eagles.
Yeah.
But the Greenhounds, right? I mean, Greenhounds, and it's a name that encompasses both. I mean, this wasn't like a joke name. We came up with it, but this is
And a logo and everything.
yeah, and it's an awesome looking logo that still represents both schools, Greenhounds. But I don't know.
Yeah, we have covered this drama.
Yeah, I should move on, right?
Although there are still co-ops. They still co-op in a lot of things.
More things I think than they don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is a bit. Okay, so there's that. Let me take a breath. So I want to go through the schedule, and again, it's an abbreviated show today. We're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes, maybe 15, something like that. Trying to time this up with, I need to jet out of here with the magazines. I won't always be in a rush. It's just week one with the magazines, right? Want to put on a good show for the people out there. But let me just take a pause, Dan. What would you like to talk about today? Because I'm going to talk about the schedule, and that kind of wraps up our show. So,
okay.
Yeah. Anything else you want to have? Ask me questions or ask the people out there questions?
So real quick, maybe under the radar a little bit, I'm a big basketball fan, and the sectional pairings were released for next year.
It's true.
Right? So almost a year away. So the playoffs next March, February, March, they are out. They were released. Feel free to go to wiaawi.org.
That's right.
And you can look at all of them. But just a couple of things that popped to mind, right? And they come out, and I'm not this guy who wants to map it all out and figure out where the decisions
I wouldn't necessarily say I want to.
Yeah. But it's interesting, right? Because Assumption girls go north instead of southwest this time, right? Mm-hmm. Where they have the big Lena team going to be waiting for them in sectionals if they make it there.
Mm-hmm. State appearance from the Lena
they
ball
should
club.
Have probably won state last year. Yeah.
They'll be hungry.
Apart the last 2 minutes of regulation.
Yeah, they'll be hungry.
Yep. But even beyond that, it's the first time that we have seen the success factor come into play.
Right.
Right. We talked about Pewaukee, Wisconsin Lutheran, who had a great Division II championship last year.
Yep.
That might be a Division I championship next year because they both
certainly
get promoted.
Certainly could be, and the people out there say, well, but Knippel went to Duke. That's true. Yeah. Another Knippel is right up there on that team, and they're reloading. Yeah,
and so when we talked about success factors, there's a lot of people. We're not going to go public-private debate. We don't have enough hours today to talk about it. The idea that was brought forth was, hey, teams that do really good, they get promoted.
Yep.
Right? You have a chance to appeal for whatever reason. Maybe you have a once-in-a-generation team that had 8 seniors and they're all graduated and it's JV players next year.
Yeah, all freshmen, sophomores on the run. Yeah. No juniors showed up. It'd have to be some
extenuating circumstances.
Very extenuating, right? I would think.
Yeah. But there is an appeal process.
Yep.
There was one team that was granted.
One of about 20.
Yeah. But what people are seeing is, man, everybody that got promoted were public schools, right? Well, why is that? That wasn't what. Yeah. Wasn't what was supposed to happen. Yeah. It's working exactly like.
And just talking about basketball right now.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, football's the same way, but I don't exactly know how that's playing out.
There was a mix of both, but yeah. But just talking about basketball here.
Yeah, football's weird because we don't know what division you're in until the playoffs come.
Right.
Qualifiers and stuff.
Yeah, but we know a few for sure that whatever they are, they won't be.
They are one higher.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's really interesting, and I think it's really good for the sport. I think that I know there's people who are fans of their teams that are getting promoted saying, we have a really good program. Why are we being penalized for this? It's really not a penalty.
No, it's not.
You are going to face better competition, more fans, more scouts. It's better for your school. And maybe over time, some of these Division 4 or 5 schools start playing in D1 or D2, and that's a bigger story than what it would be than winning Division 5 again. Yeah.
It's a very good point. The other 24 or so states that have done this now for a long time they've all been able to prove that it's better for their sport in their state.
Yeah.
So now one of them regrets doing it.
So this is the first time it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yep.
right?
Coming up in November. Well, I mean, yeah, November, but when the playoffs hit in February, you'll be competing in a different group,
Yeah.
different divisional group.
And there's some football teams in our area that are also promoted, I think.
Yep.
Stratford, maybe Edgar, I don't know.
Yeah.
Stratford, though. for sure.
Stratford is, yep, and there are some others. I tell you what we can do, Dan, is perhaps sometime in July, we're going to move our show over to Hewitt coming up in a couple of weeks. I think in July we'll do a whole show about the football promotions. That'd be a good one to do.
And new conferences and a
Yeah.
lot of new in
Yep.
football this year.
Yep, and I'll have some time to line it up. We'll bring a couple coaches in and kind of just give a full
Yeah, because
talk about performance factor, as it's called.
getting ready to throw bags in Hewitt.
It's a championship coming up.
Yeah,
Probably not.
I've
but-
already cleared out space for the trophy.
Well, I cleared out space for my boards in the driveway, which I did. Just to this point, I haven't thrown the first bag yet. It's been raining, or I've been busy, or something.
Yeah.
But they're in the driveway ready. I just haven't. I'll get loose soon
Good.
for both of our benefits because we've got like 3 weeks and then we're throwing.
It's crazy.
Right, 21. Yeah, 3 weeks from now, we'll be throwing. Show still continues, just different location for this. A summertime location for the
Yeah,
show.
we can actually invite people out
Yeah,
to on location
yeah, yeah.
and have a drink or
Yeah,
two.
join us. Skeeter Notice's Village Inn in Hewitt, starting on the 29th.
Yeah, all summer.
All summer long.
Yeah.
All the way through like week 2 of football. We'll be out there. Okay, good. All right, well, let's go through the schedule. And I'll give you one more thing that, give you the last word. Yeah, I know, right? You can just read it yourself
I
right
can.
there.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here. So I go to Zaleski.com. Yeah, you got that front cover tipped over a little bit. There you go. What we won't do is hire you to fill those stands.
I'm stealing this one.
It's yours.
I'm gonna put it under glass.
All right.
Edition 1.
You know what? I'm going to read it from here. I actually wrote the back page, so I like the way it's organized a little better. On Thursday, again, you can get that schedule on the magazine every week at 3, 4, 5, 6 Marshfield area locations starting tonight through tomorrow morning, and then over in Neilsville starting next week.
The entire girls track team is in here.
Everybody. JV, varsity, everyone.
Yeah.
Well, wearing a lot of blankets too. Must have been cold.
The
It is Wisconsin, but night outdoor track now. On Thursday, baseball action looks like this. Pacelli is at Tri-County, Menominee Indian at Amherst, McDonald Central's at Marathon, Marshfield's at Spash, Wisconsin Rapids at DC Everest, Eau Claire North and Eau Claire Memorial. They finish up their crosstown rivalry tomorrow, and those are all baseball games live on Zaleski Sports. And I'm just going to hit a refresh on my screen here and give, while we're here, because we've got our second live game of the day that has just cropped up. These are like new storms popping up on the radar, right? Go with your theme from before.
Yeah.
Bottom of the second, Memorial North, no score. So Bob Bradovich on the call there. And our second storm that's just popped up, Columbus Catholic at Gilman baseball. Just talked about Columbus baseball. So working on that magic number. And
Quite the camera angle.
no score yet. Well, there are no facilities in Gilman, so we are ground level there. Okay, but those two games are live right now. Memorial and North and Columbus Gilman baseball games live right now. Those are like some makeup games on a Wednesday from rain out earlier. Softball on Thursday, Spash at Wisconsin Rapids. Assumption is at Stratford, Mosney at Pacelli, and Loyal Greenwood. The Greenhounds at Columbus Catholic. On Friday, it's all baseball. On Friday, Whitnall is at New Berlin Eisenhower, Columbus Catholic at Loyal. I'll be over in Loyal on Friday. Arrowhead at Eau Claire Memorial. That's an interesting one there. I like that one. And then a 7 o'clock start at historic Carson Park on Friday night, under the lights. Memorial Old Abe's. Okay. Saturday baseball, Bondwell is at Pacelli. That's a doubleheader that starts at noon. And then softball is just madness on Saturday. 3 locations, triangulars or something near that is what's going on there. Over in Thorpe, Mondovi, Pacelli, and Athens, Medford and Stratford. You get to watch them all from Thorpe starting at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Over in Wisconsin Rapids, Columbus Catholic, Mosney, Assumption, all going at it starting at 10 a.m. And in Iola, Wapaka, Iola Scandinavia, Marathon, triangular there. All that also starts at 10 a.m. So some viewing information for you. Again, that schedule at ZaleskiSports.com. And on the back of Zaleski Sports Headlines, brand new magazine.
Softball brackets coming out soon.
Seed meetings are tonight, I think, just about everywhere. Some might linger on, but tonight for sure. And for interested parties, where we go is wiaawi.org. Every now and then a coach will float us the voting results.
Something ahead of time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Spoilers.
That's fine, but we don't publish those anyway. It's just kind of fun. We love brackets.
We don't own the rights to it.
Well, we just love brackets,
We do
right?
love brackets.
And so when that text comes in, I go and I draw up a bracket with pencil and paper, and then I just write them in there because it's just brackets, right?
It's true.
I mean, brackets, baby, brackets. So anyway, tonight we'll all go to wiaawi.org.
Is that Kyle Schwarber on the front page?
Could have been
Looks like it. Beefy guy. Hits
Beefy.
dingers.
beefy. Let's see here. So brackets. Yep. So seed meetings tonight, and they may Division I may not do theirs tonight. I think everybody else does because Division I starts a few days later. So Division I seed meetings might be on Sunday, but I believe everybody else in the state is tonight
The
because
first
their
round
playoffs start a
is-
week from tomorrow.
Yeah, so the brackets have to be out.
For D2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, because
For D1 they start on the 23rd. They got 2 weeks yet to their first game.
Yeah.
So D1 will likely do their bracket or their seed meeting on Sunday. Everyone else is tonight.
Okay.
So we'll have some news to report into the day tomorrow on your favorite team and what seed they were. But if you don't want to wait for us, wiaawi.org. That's where you find all that. All right, Dan, last word. We're at the end of the show.
Yeah. This is awesome. The team's done a really good job with it. I'm not a part of it. Marywood Minute should probably end up in here.
You've been invited.
Yeah, I have to do it ahead of time. I didn't even do one this week. But feel free to stop by. Jason gave what the schedule is going to be. Come say hi. This guy loves to talk, right? He loves to shake hands, kiss babies. That's kind of what he does.
Just nothing after midnight. I'm indisposed after midnight.
Don't feed him after midnight.
That's right.
Multiplies.
I'm
We
a
don't-
gremlin.
We do not need that.
I'm a gremlin.
But thank the sponsors. Thank everybody who made this possible. It's free, right? And I don't think we say it enough. It's free. Come in, grab one. I don't know how many you're giving at each location, but if there's
Plenty.
a couple left, don't take them all.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah, if it's Friday and there's only 2 left, and then the next distribution not till Wednesday, just take one. Dan's saying that's a pretty good idea.
If you're interested in expanding the coverage area,
Oh yeah,
definitely an opportunity, but it takes sponsors, right?
does.
Otherwise, you have to charge for this, and that defeats
We know
the
that's not
purpose
going to
of
work.
it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
defeats the purpose of it
It does.
because it's about the kids, and
Yeah.
we have 11 pages,
Yep.
11, 12, including the back.
Yeah.
Pages of just photos of kids and their accomplishments. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, people in Assumption, Wisconsin Rapids, maybe.
Yeah.
Not really in
Yeah.
here yet. Maybe
Spash.
an opportunity.
Mosney, Amherst, Wausau West, wherever you might be watching
Yeah.
from. Eau Claire, Kaukauna, Oak Creek, you name it. Let us know. You go to the website, click the contact button, and tell us the name of the business you own and who we talk to that makes the decisions. And it really should be you. So if you're not that person, have that person send their information in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not monkeying around with the, with the parking lot attendant.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's 11 pages, and we're covering maybe 1/5 of who we usually do.
Oh man, not even that much, right? So Auburndale, Marshfield, Columbus Catholic, Stratford, Spencer, Neelsville, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot more. But yeah, money does make the world go round, as it turns out.
Well, he would just have to hire another person or two or something. I think it's
Yeah. And that's the thing too, right? People that are here, most of us anyway, do this because we expect cash in exchange for our talent and time. So we do pay people here.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Yeah, paid people here. So JBC Screen Printing, Poor Choices, Bakerville Bar and Grill, Grassland Butter, V&H Automotive, Rigel Plumbing and Heating, Weiler Convenience Stores, R&R Furniture, Columbus Catholic Eagle Tire Center, Team and Realty, McDonald's of Marshfield, Buccaneer Supper Club, Krabby's of Marshfield, DZ Dumpsters, Doyne Excavating, Westside Auto Body, Midstate Technical College, EML, Bowling Alley in Roseville, North Central Technical College, and there were a couple more that just got added today. So that's Those are who are making sure you get to get this thing for free.
Awesome.
Yeah. There you go.
And it's a high quality product.
Full color, full gloss. Got a little heft to it.
It does. It smells wonderful.
Me, somewhat growing up in a newspaper. Every time I'd walk in with my dad to the newspaper, just that
Smells
ink,
so
that
good.
ink smell as soon as you walk through the door. Yeah, it was fun.
I love opening a brand new book and smelling the ink.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, that's burned on there, right?
It
I mean,
is.
that's causes that carcinogenic reaction. Yeah, there's Dan out there. Yeah, not you,
Yeah. Different Dan.
different Dan.
Better Dan.
Get it better, much better, Dan. Just wrapping up some of the box printing or the printing of the magazines, getting them in the boxes, I should say. So okay,
It
that's
looks
it.
like a printer.
Yeah, fits the bill.
Yeah.
Fits the bill. Okay, last word. You good?
I'm good.
All right, gang, that'll do it from here. Again, in Blenker at around 5:45, all three Weiler's stores thereafter in Marshfield. We'll see you there, everybody. Have a good night.